Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan. Sa Blue Eagle kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayon, tunong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting at tigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan.
It's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
All good already, all the best. And when I say the best, we have here the best in Filipino music and my best friends in the industry. At talagang parang sabi nga namin, ayun, yung thesis nito in the end, tayo-tayo rin lang yung magtutulungan. And this is such a celebration because we're celebrating Trina's 30th at one anniversary in this industry with a song that's celebrating its real 30th anniversary. We have here singer, composer, producer, now leader of the industry too. She's part of, di ba? Phil's Cap, Trina Belamide. Hello.
Well, nako,
Are you still in Australia? Hindi na. You have your trophies there.
Yeah,
So, dito ka na sa Maynila, your home.
Nakauwi na ako.
Oo nga.
Thank you
It's
so
time
much
for a
being
celebration.
with us. Oh, yeah. I'm so happy to see you guys. Siyempre, mga friends.
Oo, pero nasa box pa din. Nasa isang araw. Makikita-kita tayo out of the box.
Oo.
And we have Moy Ortiz and Annie Quintos of the company.
Good morning, Noel. Welcome back, Trina, and happy anniversary. 30th, Trina.
30
Ang
years.
galing. Let's talk about career beginnings kasi nga halos pare-pareho naman at Ateneo College Glee Club kayong tatlo.
Yeah.
Ako muntik na I prioritize the student council pero yun talaga I'm a great
Tambay ka ng
supporter.
kasa.
A great supporter of the Glee Club. But Trins, yung
Yes.
30th plus 1 year mo, paki-explain.
Yes, I technically started my professional songwriting in late 1991. So,
Okay.
parang 31 actually because and Moy, sabi ko, Moy, I always say this, he played such an important role. Talagang
Lagi naman sa atin.
Oo, kasi ang nangyari, of course, for those who don't know, Moy and Annie, members of the company, ang roots ng the company ay Ateneo College Glee Club.
Mhm,
Which I
mhm.
was also a member of. No? So they were maybe a couple of batches ahead, but Moy and I toured in 1989. We went,
Oh, ayan na.
so festival kami, mag-choir mates kami sa Glee Club, and that's how we know each other. So in the course of those mga touring, we discovered common mga music influences also, namely
Correct.
the Carpenters, mga ganyan.
Ah.
So, Annie at saka ako pareho kaming mga alto. So
Of
favorite namin
course.
Carpenters. So sabi namin, feeling namin ni Moy, kami Richard and Karen kami habang so fast forward a couple of years later when I was already when I graduated from college, 1990 ako nag-graduate. 1991, I worked for a few years sa isang maliit na advertising agency. Then ako eventually kasi feel ko talaga parang I was doing okay but I knew I could do better somewhere else. It wasn't my strength, parang ganon. Music feeling ko, and Moy knew that I was writing songs as a hobby, ganyan. Sabi niya, alam mo, why don't you try submitting songs
Professional, yeah.
Sabi niya si Joey Albert gumagawa ng album, sabi niya. So why don't you submit? So he connected us and I submitted a few songs. So nakapasok naman ako sa album niya. Meron akong album cut. So that was the start of something. Si Joey introduced me to some other new songwriters also. So yun na yung medyo foot through the door ko. And nakilala ko si Christine Bentebel, si Joey Albert, sobrang bait. Nagpamerienda siya just for the production of that alam mo, akala ko nga
Ang galing.
ganito pala pag
What song was that, Trins?
It's a song called Iibigin Ka. So it's an album track from her album Brief Encounters. That's the title of her album.
Brief Encounters. Okay.
Buhay pa ang Dinah noon.
I know, but I know only a memory.
Yeah, it's
Paborito.
not
Sabihin ba yun? Okay.
So basta it's one of the album tracks. Alam mo naman, 10 yung album tracks na yan. So usually filler yung iba.
Sandali lang, bilang panimula, kanino naman dedicated yung Brief Encounters at anong vicarious experience ang nilagay mo doon?
Hindi ako yung gumawa ng Brief Encounters. That's the title of her
okay. Hindi. Yung iniibigin ka? Ano ito? Ibigin?
Wala lang. Actually, you know what? Joey was so generous with her talent. Kasi originally, it was an English song that I submitted. Sabi niya, sana Tagalog. So ginawa kong Tagalog. She kind of collaborated on it. Alam mo, technically,
galing.
Parang pwede na siyang co-writer ng song na yon, but she didn't even ask for songwriter credit. So parang ang bait-bait talaga, parang, hindi, basta...
Naku, si Moy din ganyan.
So actually, yes. So fast forward a little bit more, after Joey worked on her album, ito na, second album na ang production ng the company. Tapos na yung, the first album, yun na, di ba?
Yes.
And they were
na walang kopya si Moy Ortiz ng meron na ng LP.
Meron ng CD. My sister had a copy. Anyway, sorry Trina, go.
Okay, go Tins.
So they were working on their second album, and ayun na, sabi ni Moy, baka gusto mo mag-submit, ganyan. He really guided me through the process kasi I submitted something, it wasn't exactly what they wanted. So sabi niya, can you make it something like this? So talagang he helped
galing.
The song. Kasi originally, it wasn't a ballad. Sabi niya, sana ballad. So, ginawa kong ballad. Tapos sabi niya, sana yung melody. I gave him 2 options for the melody of the chorus. I don't know if you remember that, Moy. Sabi ko, what's better, this or this? And then he said, yan yung mas magandang melody. It's like, okay. So, we stuck to that. chorus melody. And then sabi niya, dagdagan mo ng bridge, wala siyang bridge. Okay. So alam mo yung ganun talaga, ginabayan lang
Galing.
bridge. Ito yung mga pegs kasi parang medyo carpenters tayo, gawin natin medyo ganyan. Sige, so
Galing.
so talagang nakatutok si Moy and we recorded the demo in my house. So ano pa yun, parang alam mo yung cassette to cassette. Parang, di ba, parang wala pa akong multi-track recorder. Yung tape ng tatay ko, may microphone, talagang ganun-ganun, patong-patong ng vocals, kanta kami, ganun. So, he really guided me through the process, and then he and Margot, took hold of my demo, and then eventually, yun nga, parang okay, kasama siya sa album. So,
Naman na. Galing.
masaya na ako doon. But I did that. But the best surprise of all was it became like the carrier single of the
Very single and a major hit.
album. And it was such a good album kasi yun
Totoo yun. Totoo yan.
ng best album or album of the year sa Awit Awards. So ganun kagaganda yung mga tracks.
Yung kilabutan ako kasi, di ba parang yung sophomore album, palagi kinakakakaba. Kasi major hit naman yun na, no? Pero ito walang tapot kasi I know this album kasi yung huli niya, yung hanggang sa muli, ang ganda pa rin, parang lahat. Now, Moy and Annie, now tell us your story about Now That I Have You and that particular album that is a part of.
Honey, will we do the press release version or the truth?
Ay, hindi yung totoo. Yung totoo. Okay.
Let Annie talk.
Okay, go.
Okay, so coming from the hit
A successful debut
Everlasting
album.
Love kasi,
Yeah.
di ba? Then we were saying, okay, paano na tong the second sophomore album? Sige, so Trina comes with the song. I knew it was tweaked na and all that. But when I heard it, I said, okay, parang kayang-kaya ko to. Ang ganda kasi ng yung the low notes, no? I love it
Galing,
all.
yes.
But it was my first time to record something. Yung first album was my first, no? First to record talaga. This became still part of my learning of how to record a song. So this actually took me over 6 hours to record.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I have this in my ear kasi na when I sing something, I hear it differently inside. Then when I play it back, iba pala yung medyo flat ng konti. So I have that issue talaga.
At kapatid, sabihin natin sa mga tao ngayon, yun wala pang auto-tune.
Wala pa.
Diba? Talagang hindi teknolohiya yung nagpapaganda ng boses kung di
Hindi.
totoong boses.
So, ulit.
Yeah.
And then, I only
I
finished
did not know that. I did not know this piece of information.
So I only finished half the song. Sabi, tuloy natin kasi it's so late, tuloy natin bukas. Pagbalik namin the next day, yung recording what is called the meters and the levels were not right. I had to repeat the whole song again. That first half was useless kasi yung hits ang taas-taas.
Talaga.
So, ito na ako yung kalahati ng ilang oras na I'll have to do it again. So, I did it when it was actually traumatic. It was quite traumatic recording this.
Okay.
And it was after this recording this song na sabi ko, I don't think I'm cut out for this. Feeling ko, I don't have it. I don't have what it takes to be
Napaka-humbling naman pala ng
super
experience.
humbling. So sabi ko, okay, I think I will quit na. Quit na
Oh
ako.
my God.
Oh my
Yes.
Oo, ganun.
Talagang-
Ganun.
Ako, I was at my lowest na talaga. Sabi ko, hindi ko kayanin to. So anyway, my boyfriend then now upgraded to my husband.
Siya yung use and now that I have you.
Yes. Said, don't quit now when you're down. Quit when you're up.
Galing.
Sabi niya, you will regret it if you quit when you're down.
Galing naman ang lesson.
Sabi niya, just go for it, do it, and when you're up and you like what you're doing, you're enjoying it, then you quit.
Galing.
So I said, okay, I will do that. So the very first months of after recording and promoting, dreaded ko yang now that I have you. I dreaded it so much because
I
I
didn't
knew
know this.
I knew I had to keep thinking high, keep singing it higher
Yes.
than I could hear.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I know what
So,
you mean, Annie. I totally know. I was like that also. I would sing under the
yes,
pitch. I would and not
yon.
know it.
Uh-huh,
Yun.
uh-huh.
But it took the recording process for me to realize that. And when I
Wow.
realized it, so I just tweak lang talaga, yung talagang gumaganon ka lang talaga.
Oo, no?
Hirap. Ang hirap
Tapos
niya.
kasi, oo, si Moy kasi would always naman lilisik yung mata niya, tapos gagano na yan.
So ano
So,
yun, parang yung standards nyo. Kasi kung ibang tao lang yung makikinig, okay na yan. Pero yung standards nyo talaga sa sarili nyo, may ganun talaga na kailangan i-hit, no? Alam nyo merong kulang at merong pang ibibigay.
yes, but the thing is, because I didn't hear it while I was singing, I didn't know.
Okay.
But then, as you
Okay.
play it back, as I play it back again, and I hear, parang, talagang flat ako. My God, flat ako.
Ang galing naman
So,
yung ganung. At least alam mong flat ka. Maraming singers mas flat na hindi pa nila alam. Di ba?
it's when it's
Pero,
played back that I hear it.
playback. Kung sa playback mo,
Ang
kung sa
galing.
playback mo maririnig, too late na.
Too
Kasi
late, oo.
habang dineliver mo, flat siya.
Ang galing.
Oo.
Ano for excellence at saka yung hindi minamadali yung excellence. Di ba? Parang ganun
Hindi
yun.
talaga.
Ano?
Hindi
Yun,
talaga.
Moy. Ikaw
I-
yung makita ng
No.
prosesong to.
Noel, to
yeah.
add to Annie's story, of course, I would like to also admit my part and my share that I was part of her trauma. We talked about this, right? Trina, this is an exclusive for you and Noel.
Why?
Of course, you did mention. So it was so bad for Annie that she wanted to quit the group after this recording. But I also had a part in that because, as Noel said, the sophomore album jinx is a real thing.
That's
You know, by this time, company was already, but when we released our debut album, yun na, company was already 6 years old. And needless to say that the first four, especially the first 4 years were extreme struggle, really, financially, also navigating your place and your voice in the industry. It was really tough. So if you're not made of sterner stuff, you would have
Yeah.
easily thrown in the towel. So finally, we found our market, we found our audience with the debut album, and literally overnight, our careers changed.
That's true.
So the main thing, well, I think it was also a self-esteem issue with me. Was it a fluke? All this success, all these awards, these hits, and we were ready. Finally, we found our audience. We would do shows na kami lang. Because
Yeah.
before that, puro
Testing lang.
guest, front act, and not to belittle because I love doing this job. We would do a lot of backup vocal and
Yeah.
session work.
Yeah.
So finally, after Everlasting Love, it just exploded. And for
Yeah.
me, I was just really scared. Was it a fluke? So, and I was very much aware of the sophomore jinx issue. So, Margot and I think we were pushing our own buttons and we really wanted to make sure it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
And, well, to put it bluntly, kind of desperate. Before Noel, Trina, meron akong mga bitaw na failure is not an option. But now, with age and hopefully wisdom, we know that these things are beyond our control. Every time you release an album or a single or anything creative, like for Noel, a novel or a script, it's like flying a kite. And it is totally beyond your control. You can do your very, very best given the conditions.
Yeah.
And then you have to reach a point, this is where our Theo comes in, wherein you have to have your leap of faith and jump off the cliff and accept what God has planned for that song. At that, I wasn't still in that headspace wherein I could accept that. reality, because it is a reality. It's not in within your control. That's the what the pandemic has also taught
Yes.
us. So I was also hard on Annie as her vocal producer. Um, as Trina would know, when you are a producer in an album, aside from having the musical skills, you also have to be what's the word? An analyst, a psychologist, a psychiatrist. You have to know how to encourage positively
That's
and
true.
bring that out. Alam niya ni Noel, alam niya ni Trina.
Yeah.
And Annie as a teacher also and a vocal coach on ASAP for 17 years. How many years, Anne? 18
years.
years. You just cannot be so harsh and stern. Kasi si
True.
Trina at si Annie Noel galing sa Ateneo College Glee
Mm,
Club. And
mm.
yung training namin was under the Professor Joel Navarro.
Well, Navarro, yan na.
And his style was very, very different.
That's true.
So parang
Or probably, Moy, we analyze this also. It was a sign of the times also when people really wanted a strong leadership. Di ba? Na talagang, okay, yung terror teachers are the best.
Yeah,
Pero
yeah.
now you know that we learn more pag comfortable yung yung atmosphere, di ba?
So true. So yun, sorry if I belabored the point, but
Yeah.
I have a fault in Annie's trauma there. So Trina, Noel, it was not an easy sessions. They weren't easy recording sessions. But at the end, nga, in hindsight is 2020 vision. God had a beautiful plan because, truth be told, Trina, we are beholden and eternally grateful to you to the grave because now that I have you is
Totoo naman.
our most popular and most requested hit.
Ayan
Even
na, definitive na yon.
even beyond everlasting love. That's like the every time we plot a concert, we have to make sure that the apex of the show is your song. So we are eternally grateful for this lifetime and beyond gift that you have given the company. Thank you, Tree.
Pinabutan naman ako doon.
And
Trins,
I'd like to say also that
Go.
after that traumatic moment, months pala, I learned to love the song, and in fact, it's one of my favorite songs that I love. I really truly love to sing to this day. And
totoo naman.
and I just love how many people have been touched by the song. That that whenever I sing it, I love singing it like it's the first time I'm singing it. Because there has always been someone in the audience that comes to me and says, they were touched in a certain way, and in many different ways. So, and it's the song that really I keep close to my heart because it
Ang
taught me
galing.
so many lessons aside from it's
Galing.
a beautiful
Wow,
song.
I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah,
And
wow.
definitive Annie yun. No, on the process muna of doing that song, Vince, weren't you like parang egged or parang did you find the need for you to go to the recording of that song?
I think I went to the backup vocals, the harmony recording session. I think I was there kasi
You were there the first day, Trins. The
was
first
I
day.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ang galing. So,
Really,
sabi
Ann?
natin na collaborative talaga yung song, yung creation ng isang kanta,
Kaya
no?
medyo na-tense
Ngayon,
din ako kasi nandun ka.
Look what I have. The vocal
I
arrangement.
have that.
Wow!
Ang galing. Ang galing.
Sabi ko,
I have that.
have it. Si Moy, this is Moy's handwriting.
Ang galing. Yan po yung mga obra maestra nila, no?
Ifra niya, yung ginawa naming, I don't know, I don't remember how we came up with it in the house. I think we just harmonized, blah, blah. And then siguro
Ang
sinufra na lang ni
galing.
Moy. And I don't remember how he came up with it. But it was very collaborative. In fact, that's why I can't say I claim that as much credit for this song as I would other songs. No, kasi after this, meron na talaga mga songs na wala, ako na talaga yung gumawa solo.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
one was so collaborative because the whole process, if you hear the original demo that I sent Moy, it's a totally different song. It's parang trying to be pop jazz na ang melody niya Now that I have you, everything just seems so right. Now that I have you, I'm alive.
Ah.
Iba talaga. Tapos sabi ni Moy, gusto namin ballad. So binagalan ko lang yon. And it didn't work. Di ako, now that I have you. Parang hindi siya maganda. So sabi ni Moy, sige, baka kung ballad, how about this melody? So I gave him what it is, what it sounds like.
Ang galing.
Yan ang gagamitin natin. Because he
Ang
knew
galing.
parang that's a better melody. So imagine parang ang dami ding dinaanan nung song from yung creative process.
Yes.
Moy had his input and then sabi niya, tapos lagyan natin ng bridge because I know like, a bridge. Tapos binigyan niya ako ng carpenter's pegs na parang that's the way it is na parang ang daming chord progressions. Namiski ako nagkakamali pag tinutugtog ko kasi ang daming change ng key. And then, so the vocal range, so Annie, I'm not surprised also that you were so, that you had a hard time because it has such a wide vocal range.
That's true.
Tapos mataas yung parang almost 2 octaves yung vocal range.
That's true.
Which is not an easy song to sing. Parang, but it turned out that way because ganon, collaborative siya talaga. So nakakatuwa to know.
Ang galing. Early and good that earlier on, Trins, yung exposure mo sa industry, yung parang buena mano mo, ganito. Kasi parang, hindi parang ang daming mga solo artists or yung mga ganyan, singer-composers, gusto nila making a mark on their own na agad. Pero ngayon, parang, yan yung binabalik mo tuloy ngayon.
I thought I was making a mark on my own. but Moy was very much a part of it, the company, even Margot. So sabi ko, tapos sabi na nga ni Moy, I remember Moy, you were saying, sabi mo, kasi pangalawang song ko pa lang to. First was Joey Albert. The second was Katipunan na yung credited to me alone.
Yeah.
Sabi ni Moy, ganda ng batting average mo. Second song mo pa lang, hit na. Sabi ko, well, I think it was
ang galing.
because through the 30 years I have been in the business, if kung bibilangin mo, hindi ganun karami yung hits ko. I mean, not to be
pero malalim na hit. Di ba yung di bang ganon?
Yeah, it was parang ang gandang buena mano. And
that's true.
It's a good song.
Friends, ganito, wala na siguro to yung sa fulfillment ng mga tao pag naglo-launch ng kanta. Pero I wanna hear that story nung una mong narinig yan sa radyo or una mong, yun, kasi yung may thrill pa dati kasi pag naglo-launch. Ngayon pag naglo-launch sa Spotify at kung saan man, parang sabay-sabay na 12 midnight mo naririnig.
Yeah.
Ito random, no? So, what was your reaction when you first heard it?
It doesn't get old. Iba pa rin yung marinig mo siya sa radyo.
That's true.
Yung Spotify and digital platforms, kumbaga, it's made available to everyone 24/7. But at the time, wala, radyo lang talaga. And iilan lang yung mga stations.
At nasan ka nun? Yung iba kasi may mga kwentong taxi, di ba? Or
So, I think I was at home kasi may radyo din naman ako sa bahay. So yung mga interviews, the company was promoting it, di ba? Kasi may mga radio tour yan.
Yes.
Tour to promote it. But aside from that, I would be in the car or something and then, yan talaga, kotse, radyo. Diyan mo talaga
Ano yung feeling? Let the people know that. Kasi bihira na yung nararamdaman ng mga tao.
Kasi parang it's somewhere out there and it's playing and ako nagsulat niyan.
Nakaka-proud.
And meron kang awareness na it's being heard by other people.
Yes.
So parang every time it gets played, parang merong may kilig factor.
Annie, ikaw rin, it sealed your being Karen Carpenter.
Oh my God. I wanted to add that just a few months back, nasa Grab na Grab car. Yung tumugtog sa radyo niya, now that I have you, video ko talaga yung radyo. Tapos
buti nandun ka rin.
It has that effect. It still has that effect. Yeah. Pag nasa radyo,
yes, iba pa rin. Doesn't get old.
Iba yung kilig, di ba, Moy? Talaga when you hear your song on the radio.
I think, Noel, it's because 1992 is a world away from 2022. The way we consume our music, our entertainment. In 1992, listening to music was, or even watching TV, it was very collective. Yung kinikwento ni Trina na you're on the radio, DWKC, DWTM,
Correct. At ang
all
sipag
of
nyo mag-promote, yun ang maganda naman for people to get
super.
the company, be it a concert, a single. Oh,
Noel, kwento. Ito, binalikan namin na ni Trina
oh,
kwento. In terms of sipag mag-promote, I guess because, I was like the leader of the group, super neurotic ang pagka-promote. As in like, well, you can feel that now even in my social media platforms. Lipat ka
yeah.
nyo. Pero it got so bad, not so bad, because you have transgenerational hits that many generations
Oo
after, 30
naman.
years after, they still know the song. But we would go to, do you know Makati Cinema Square?
Yes, my long.
Yung mga bata hindi na alam eh. Yung Makati Cinema Square, it faces the street. Hold on. What does it face?
Solo.
Creek, my long.
No, Amorsolo is at the back. What's the one in front?
The other one is
Pasong Tamo.
Pasong Tamo,
Pasong
yes.
Tamo. Di ba walang stage yon? Literally, para kaming nasa karnabal. We would face Pasong Tamo with a makeshift stage and promote that album. As in, dinadaanan kami ng jeep, dinadaanan kami ng mga tao, and this wasn't like a posh or a social mall. This is like Pasong Tamo. Another one that we couldn't forget kami ni Annie, SM Center Point in Santa Mesa. Di ba usually ang mga mall shows niyan sa loob or sa basement sa food court?
Yes.
Hindi.
Kapatid, nasa main entrance ng mall, sa steps ng SM, facing Aurora Boulevard. Umabot sa ganun. Pero, ang ganda ng kapalit.
Yan nga ang nangyari. Pero sandali, naka-Danilo Franco ba kayo or Badong Bernal? Di ba?
Hindi naman. Naka-jeans.
Pero kilala rin kayo doon. Talagang the total look and the total package talaga with the company. Now, Trins, before I want to go to the experiences kasi ng Now That I Have You. Kasi sabi nga ni Annie, ang daming na-touch sa buhay. And let's listen to really good stories, no? Isa na-apektuhan ng Now That I Have You. Trins, ikaw, ano yung pinaka-touching na lumapit sa'yo na, naging soundtrack na ng buhay ko?
Maraming nagsabi na nila. But one of the people who at the time, nung kakakilala ko pa lang sa kanya, kaibigan niyo din si JP Phoenix.
Yes.
JP, I naging friend ko na lang siya mga around 2000 na yata, past 2000. Tapos sabi niya, alam mo ba, wedding song namin yan. At saka, friends ko yung yun. So I found out na, kilala niya sina Cecil, parang kaibigan din pala niya ang company. Parang talaga kinanta sa wedding niya. So he's one of many. Yung iba, hindi ko na nalalaman. But, through the years, people would say na, yeah, we sang it for our wedding. It's in our wedding. So parang, yun. Nakakatuwa to know na marami siyang wedding na...
Galing. Maganda siguro, no? Yan si Annie. Maganda, i-encourage natin yung mga listeners and viewers and now your followers on Facebook to tell their own Now That I Have You experience. Kasi
awesome.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought, sabi ko, okay, para maiba naman. Speaking about promotion, being an artist in 2022 versus in the 90s.
Totoo
it's
yan.
so different, So now, sabi ko nakakatawa nga kasi back then, feeling ko iilan lang din kaming songwriter. So, the success is easier for us kasi there wasn't much competition. And even the way singles were promoted, pag nasa radyo na siya or nasa yun na yun, hit na siya. Ngayon, kind of have to find your own way and there's so much competition. So, it's funny because now I find myself in a place where I'm kind of being like an independent artist, which I'm kind of loving, but I'm thankful that I have a bit of an advantage of 30 years. Kasi meron na akong mga, kumbaga, social capital. Yeah, meron akong Noel Ferrer, meron akong mga connections here and there. And I think a little bit of an edge, if you can even call it that. But it's hard, no? Parang ngayon, para akong independent artist na sariling sikap ang promotion. Talagang, Noel, pwede ba akong mag-guest?
Totoo yan, totoo. And now, yun siguro yung pwedeng contribution natin, the now that I have you experience. Di ba?
Yeah.
Well, Annie, ikaw, ano yung mga talagang stark experiences na talagang tumama sa'yo?
I sang that song with with company sa Ayala Center. Ayala Alabang. Yun, Ayala Alabang Center. And I sang it to a little girl. I purposely, when I saw her, I'd sing to her, then I'd go to, and I'd keep going back to her. And in her mind, fast forward 20-something years later, she emails me and says, "You sang this song to me as a little girl."
Oh my God.
And I am now going to be using this as my wedding march.
Oh my God.
So I remember that kasi nung sinabi niya Ayala Alabang, I knew it was her I was singing to.
Wow.
Ibang klase
Ang
to.
Ang nakakatuwa yung email kasi she really went to look for me.
Ang sarap
That
lang.
tells you how old the song is. She sang it, little girl.
Little girl, tapos ikakasal na
Hanggang
siya.
Oo.
And yung mga across generations. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
And-
And there have been many versions of the song too.
Yun, nice to talk about it also kasi yun nga, little girl, and now you have Eric Santos. May choral version. Well, aside from the company, di ba? May choir pa singing it. Di ba? Yeah.
Madrigals, meron ding Ateneo Chamber Singers. So these are all recordings of Now That I Have You. I think it's 2 different vocal arrangements. Meron kay Chris Borella and there's one by Arnel Depano.
Ang galing. Mo ikaw, now that I have you experience, may lumapit ba or of all the weddings that yung parang kailangan, required, or ganun?
No, every time we do a show, I since I'm the musical director of the group, I pick the songs in the show, but of course I have to consult with my singing partners to see if it is physically okay to do that set list. But I think it always would be a crime not to include Now That I Have You in a concert because, that hit was, how do you say, we had to earn that in a very, very, it was hard won. So, and for you to not give it to your audience, ayoko talaga yung artista na nagsasabi, I'm so sick and tired of singing the hits. Parang ang kapal mo. Do you know how difficult having a hit, first a hit, and B, a hit that survives the test of time? Wala kang karapatan.
And that helped make you.
That built your life, your career, and your legacy. So, hindi kami ganon, Noel, Trina. Hindi talaga kami magsabi, to use the joke of John Santos, nakakaburing magkanta niyan. Pero no, this is new even for me when Annie says that every time she sings a song, it brings her to a good place mentally and emotionally. And that shows some wisdom because it's gratitude.
Galing, and the act of generosity even.
Yes.
Ibigay mo yan sa mga tao kasi hindi lang yan sa'yo. It ought to be shared.
Nakakatuwa yan, Moy, for you to say that. Kasi ako, in my 30 years of being a songwriter, I've tried and maybe succeeded to a certain degree to try to be versatile, di ba? Parang nag-experiment tayo ng iba-ibang genre, etc. But it's true that it's the audience that will almost dictate to you kung ano yung brand mo.
That's true.
You can aspire for something else, but the real you is what the audience perceives of you and what they like, what they enjoy getting out of you.
So well put.
Diba?
So well put.
Somebody like it was Kuya Arnel Depano who also told me once. Sabi niya, ang brand mo, yung mga pop ballad, positive ballad. Now That I Have You is yun na yun. That and then
Shine.
I've done Shine. Only When With You, Reason Enough. These are all positive ballads, melodic. So much as you would like to think that, it's fun also to experiment on other genres, mga R&B.
That's true.
Kasi creative tayo. We like to do these things. But at the end of the day, you owe it to your audience to give them what they enjoy most from you.
That's true.
Which is why also for this version of Now That I Have You, sabi ko, hindi ako magpapaka-trendy or something. It's like an update of the company version. That's really what it
Totoo.
is. Parang, sabi ko, hindi, patiki hindi ko ibahin kasi actually magka-range naman kami ni Annie. It's the original key, it's the original takbo ng song. It's like an updated version kasi alam ko yun na yung gusto ng mga tao. The company's version is classic. So mine is just a tweak of that na magkaboses nga kami ni Annie.
Yes.
I think
Okay nga yun. Okay
na-realize ko yun
talaga.
nung recording. When I was in Annie's recording, may mga recordings kami. When I also nag-pinch hit din ako for the company a couple of times. We had recordings. Parang sabi ko, ako ba yun o si Annie? Hindi ko minsan nagkakapareho kami ng boses.
Ang galing, no? Parang the producer and the songwriters parang view of the song nag-jive lang with the actual rendition of it. Pero now that I have you, aside from ito yung unique selling proposition din, selling proposition. Since aside from the ballads, the double meaning na can be romantic love, can be something you can offer to God. Di ba? Parang your songs, di ba? Shine.
Oo nga eh. Oo, that's true. Parang I always intend for them to be love songs. And you would know kasi merong part ng mga you take my hand and ganyan-ganyan.
Yes.
Holding hands na Pero for some reason, people say, parang pwede rin siya kay God. The Shine was also the same thing.
Yeah.
Sweet, who is also a member of the company. Kaya ganyan din yung namin, relationship namin ng company. Kasi si Sweet, who sang Shine for me, who last minute was my emergency live singer because Ima could not make it to the Araneta Coliseum live. So Sweet was my replacement for Ima. And then that was how Moy got to know, I think, discover Sweet when they needed a pop soprano to eventually take the place of, I forget Phoebe. Ayun, parang, birin mo yun, parang, so it was my turn in a way to give back, if you want to.
Galing.
Company, because Sweet, they met because she was the one who sang Shine. And when Sweet was the one singing it, ang dating sa iba, inspirational because yun nga,
yes.
Kasi trumpets, ganyan. I did not actually see parang talaga may ganung dating, but yeah, when you see her performance during the Metro Pop, it became kind of
yes.
Oh, okay. And then
another layer of meaning, no? Ang ganda, ang ganda lang.
So merong ganung, again, this is something accidental, but sometimes it's the audience that will see things that you don't see as a writer and producer, and then sila yung nakakakita. Moy, you were saying.
Oh, Moy.
Si Annie, also that happened, Trina, Noel, to Annie when Annie became a mother. Kwento mo, Ann. Umiba ang meaning.
Hala. Sandali.
Yan na. Naman.
Naiiyak. Kaya mo yan.
Totoo yun.
Hindi ko kaya.
Kaya mo yan. Uminom ka muna ng tubig.
Well, I did sing it in my wedding, first of all. And then nga when I had a child, oh my God, hindi ko kaya.
Kaya mo yan.
It became the song that oh my God, hindi ko kinakaya.
Dahil at what instance manaramdaman mo na para sa anak mo?
The
birth.
Yeah.
I mean, when Annie didn't have Brian as a young mother, she was already. You were in your 30s already.
Yeah, 30 na. I was 30.
30s. So, you know.
It changed. It totally just changed
worldview.
my life. Yeah, my worldview. And the song had a deeper meaning pa because when you sing it, yung lalabay to your child. And then, parang it just takes a whole different meaning. And,
yeah. I'm thinking of the lyrics now and
27 years old now. Ay, 27 years old na siya. And yet, it still has that same effect.
Look, she cried this morning. Especially, Trins, when you wrote, "You are the song that I'll be singing my whole life through." I mean, from a parent point of view,
Galing.
I mean,
Bro,
iba talaga. Ayun, sorry,
no, parang-
Pinay. That
Ang na
means,
yung you, no? The you part there. Well, we've talked about God. We've talked about, well, family and ourselves. You know, you can consider the now that I have you, no, of us. But in the industry that we're in,
ay,
let's pay tribute to those people who shaped you also. Trins, kasi we're celebrating your anniversary and the companies here. Sino yung mga you na yan na gusto mo rin pasalamatan who have been part of the now that I have you experience?
Yeah, that's true. You know, aside from, of course, si Moy na nga, Joey Albert, as I was mentioning, she was a good opening or intro to the industry because I thought that when she called us for a merienda, no? She called up all the songwriters of her album for a merienda. I thought it was a production meeting. So I go, ganun pala. Pag songwriter ka ng isang album, magmi-meeting kayo, tapos ganyan-ganyan. Yung pala
Hindi pala
merienda,
transactional lang.
wala lang. Gusto lang niya chumika.
Okay.
But because of that, I met Christine Bendebel,
Na.
who was also, paved the way also because she was the one who said, mag-invest ka sa instruments mo. Bumili ka ng keyboard, bumili ka ng sequencer pa yung tawag doon. And then sabi, she was the first one I met who was a full-time songwriter. Sabi ko, you do this full-time?
Yeah.
Sabi ko, as in wala kang, hindi to siya side job. Ito yung full-time work ko. Sabi ko, wow, pwede pala yun. So it opened my mind.
Galing.
Doing it full-time. So that was Christine Bendebel and Joey Albert, Moy Ortiz. Shortly after that, I met also through Mark Santamaria, who is also
a Glee Club.
I met Chito Ilagan, who was with Polycosmic Records. And he trusted me to produce an album. I was a total newbie. I knew nothing about producing anything. And he had me produce an album, which was a vocal group also. We called it Axis. We were like, it was ang ending, one album lang kami at isang Christmas album siya.
Oy, pero gusto ko pa rin yung may version sila yung my favorite time, di ba?
Time of the year. He had Pasko na Sinta Ko cut track din. Ang ganda-ganda. Homer Flores was the arranger. But that experience connected me to people in the industry. Sabi ko, Chito Ilagan either had so much faith in me or was so lazy. Sige, ikaw na lang gumawa. I don't know which one it was, but I am so grateful.
But thank you, yeah.
Oo, because of that, natuto ko, ito pala yung 2-inch tape na bibit-bitin mo sa studio.
Wow.
Na ito, 24 tracks yan. So I learned about that because sinabak niya ako sa experience.
Galing, no?
Ito, tawagan mo si ganito. Ito yung mga arrangers, si Alvin Nunez, si Tats Faustino, tawagan mo yung mga si Rica Arambulo. So that suddenly forced me to connect to arrangers.
Galing.
And paano ba mag-produce? Wala, punta ka sa studio, ikaw, bahala ka, ganyan-ganyan. So I learned, parang alam mo yung parang tinapon niya ako sa swimming pool, tapos mag-swimming ka, bahala ka dyan.
The best training, no?
Yeah, that's Chito Ilagan. So I owe him so much also. That's Chito. So yeah, I'd like to thank him. And then along the way, I've met many people. Baby Hill. Baby Hill, at the time, I didn't know her, but I remember her doing an
generous,
art.
No?
Oo, kasi like,
the reviews.
Mga reviews.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, this up-and-coming songwriter, ganyan-ganyan. So I go, wow, sino ba tong Baby Hill? Eventually, I would meet her. And we would be fellow trustees in PhilSCAP. So, Baby Hill also, I owe her so much. She's been so nice. Yeah, so,
ang maganda lang, Trins, in your 30 years, ang matatandaan din ng mga tao, it's your giving back. Well, if there's anything about you now, aside from your being a composer, people remember you as the one that helped the people during the pandemic. Yun talaga yung hindi pinaplano ng Diyos. Pero ayan yung parang conceptualizing the series of concerts, no? Parang ako, parang you never planned that too. Parang ako yun, parang yung talagang kabutihang loob lang na nag-initiate nung program na yon. And well, alam ko hindi mo na-realize na much of what Trina is that we appreciate, parang yung ending nun talaga, it just prepared you lahat ng mga hits mo to this kind of thing, to give back to the community. How does that feel now? It
Right.
gives you more meaning.
Correct, oo. But before I get into that Bayanihan Musikahan
Yeah.
project, which was mind-blowing also, I have to also mention, because the 30 years ko na Regine Velasquez has also been
Ay, oo naman. Oo
all
naman.
artists. Siya talaga. As in, pag ginugal mo yung pangalan ko, kaya siya maraming hits dahil kay Regine Velasquez. She, of all artists, has recorded the most number of my
Ang
songs.
galing.
Pag in-itemize ko lahat ng mga artists that have recorded my songs, si Regine yung pinakamadami. As in,
Okay.
enough for 1 or 2 albums. So, Regine, thank you also. I owe you so much also for always getting my songs for your album. So, yun. And
Talaga binibless yung mga generous na tao. Di ba?
Oo,
Regine,
oo.
na ibang klase.
siya talaga. But ang dami talagang pasasalamatin in the 30 years. But these were the pillars talaga that have
Yeah.
really pushed my career forward. Now, going to Bayanihan Musikahan, Noel.
Ibang klase yun, kapatid.
Oo,
Ibang
that
klase.
was, kasi nga in the 30 years that I have been here, yun nga, malaking bagay yung mga networks na na-build ko.
That's
So,
true.
Ryan Cayabyab, Maestro Ryan Cayabyab, Mr. C, the first time I met it, parang pag iniisip ko ngayon, parang grabe naging friend ko si Ryan Cayabyab. Pero ang laking bagay na dahil national artist for music siya. What happened, well, I'll try to be very brief about Bayanihan Musikahan. During the pandemic, many of us were thinking of what can we do to help. And I just put together 5 people that I thought, kasi naisip ko lang, sabi ko, naka-online platform, concert pa nga, isang concert nga lang yung iniisip ko. But I said, sabi ko, hindi, if the national artists for music will call for artists to rally behind this project, they will come. So, ang laking bagay na kilala ko si Mr. C, and then I put together a few other people who made the project happen. And there was end-to-end delivery of all the services, and you were witness to that. So, 120 million plus pesos in 2 months. So, grateful for that. But yeah, I'm happy to have been able to contribute somehow, like solidly, like pagkain para sa mga tao in that
Pero
way.
yun, di ba, parang yung when you assess careers or lives, it's really not about us or personal achievements. It's really what you give back. Yun talaga.
Your impact on other people. Yes, it's really
That's true. Let's go now to that issue na ang dami na, iba na talaga yung consumption ng music ngayon, no? And then there are people who are not on TV who can like pack major acts, concert acts. Parang ano na yung track mo ngayon, Trins? In like making a song popular or heard by people? Ano ning mindset? Has technology overcome you already, or parang kailangan rin aralin, no? Pero how do you parang navigate through that advancement?
It has certainly changed, no? So sobrang nag-iba talaga. Kasi everything has changed. Bukod sa parang kumbaga place ko in the industry na parang gumraduate tayo from joining all these contests to eventually helping other people. Kasi parang at a certain point, okay na ako, nanalo na ganito. And then you try to help other newer songwriters become what you are, or yung daanan nila yung path mo. So, coach naman kami ngayon for Philpop.
Yes.
And it's very rewarding to talk to new songwriters kasi they learn from you, but you also learn from them. Bonus talaga. Parang ang dami mong natututunan sa kanila. The learning doesn't stop. Even after 30 years, you keep learning. There's so much to absorb. And then because the music platforms have changed, wala nang radyo, hindi na uso. You have to go with everything. So ako nga, parang kaka-open ko lang ng TikTok account. Parang gusto ko gagawin ko. Parang kailangan ba? But, bukod sa kailangan, it's also very interesting to see how people consume music. Parang ano ba yung interesting sa kanila. So I have to do it. Parang okay, and then I learn different things, video editing, parang just yung yung video tungkol sa pusa, mga 1 oras ko yata pero pero sabi ko, yun pala yung mga gusto. You trial and error. Nowadays, the way you learn is you just do what you can and what you like to do. It's so
Totoo
important
yun.
to still enjoy the process. Hindi pwede yung pipilitin mo yung sarili mo sa hindi mo gusto gawin. Kasi
Totoo yun.
hindi mo gagawin di ba? Parang you have to have some enjoyment out of it. So,
And clear yung base mo of excellence, and I guess yung why are you doing this? And for whom are you doing it for? Parang gano'n, dapat clear talaga. Moy and Annie, your reaction to by learning this technology. Are you on TikTok already?
Yes, we are. Annie and I.
O yun. So iba talaga. So what's a whole experience and you being transported to different platforms?
I think the way your art or your creation is distributed is the one that really changed. I mean, TikTok, and then you have Instagram, and then you have YouTube, you have Twitter, and then of course FB for us old fogies. But ang sa akin, ang feeling ko, as long as you are authentic and true to your musical, because we're all musician artists. Pati ikaw, Noel, ang dami mo ng singles na na-release.
Feels cap.
As long as you are true to your musical DNA, I will repeat what Ryan Cayabyab said. Your music will find its audience no matter what, because we do know that there are tama, what are the latest numbers, Trina? Because before it was like 10,000 singles every Friday, but now I believe it's 100,000 singles every day. The music that's being released into the world, the global market. So I mean, right now it's easy to put your music out, but standing out from the crowd in a saturated market is the challenge. So sa akin, as long as, I understand what Trina is saying, na it's good to experiment and also go off to the deep end of the water and try to be creative away from your safe zone. But for as long as you're true to what you like musically, it will find its market. What do you think, Annie? What do you think, Annie?
I agree. I totally agree. I think there's just so many, so varied, kinds of music that's being brought out, and
you're dealing with them in ASAP, Annie, no? Parang
nakakagulat nga na mayat maya may bago and these are young composers, young artists. And somehow they do find in an audience. It's surprising, but there's just so many people. It's also because of the way the music is on the different platforms, that every single part of the world gets to hear whatever's there.
That's true.
It's like a game, no? Parang these are the rules, okay? Marami kayong magkakompetensya. And these are the platforms. And there are many ways to go about promoting.
That's
you go
true.
mainstream, where you connect with the big labels, but you don't earn much because the money goes to them because they're investing. Or you go independent, where you can afford to tamad-tamaran, ganyan. But it's harder because you're competing against bigger platforms. There's pros and cons for every marketing path that you choose. So it's like a game. So subukan mo to, saan ka magsasucceed.
Parang make your mark, parang gano'n.
And it's different for every artist kasi depende sa comfort zone mo, what you're willing to do, or even your financial circumstances, di ba? Parang
That's true.
iba-iba yung kinalalagyan ng bawat artist. So it's different for each person.
Galing.
Find your own, what will work for you.
To complete lang our discussion of Now That I Have You, medyo comprehensive naman na, pero the movies, it's a different platform, no? When it was produced to a movie, Trina, how did that feel?
I have a poster here. I wish I could show you.
At JLC at Bea pa man din, di ba? Parang in no less, A-listers.
And that's my title. I thought of that title, and it's now the title of the movie.
Yeah.
And then there's an artista there, parang, wow, it's mind-blowing. Parang yung thought na parang, ang galing sa utak ko yan, title na yan. Parang gano'n, nakakakilig.
Correct.
Yung Margot Gallardo was also instrumental in landing that deal. She was the one who, alam ko, siya yung naglakad nun eh.
Ang galing.
So thank you, Margot.
It's on Netflix right now.
Now, with Bea and John Loya.
Kakapasok lang, Trina, this week. It's on Netflix now.
At nasa top 10 na agad. Totoo.
Talaga, Noel?
Yes.
Wow.
So parang
To watch it. I have to watch it.
I'll watch it. But yeah, I mean, for it to be the theme song and then a new version by Eric and Sherin na magandang version din kasi syempre star. So
na hindi mo akalain magsasama kasi 'di ba pinaglalaban sila during that time na parang things happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Differently, yeah.
It also became a big hit, the Eric and Sherin.
I know.
So,
Grabe yung buhay talaga ng art, ng sining, no? Parang pwedeng mabuhay ng ma-recreate at ma-rediscover.
yes. And you know what, I used to think na parang, okay, pag yung song naging hit, tapos bumaba na yun, no? Parang akala ko dati, parang, that's it. The end na yan.
Iba ngayon. Yeah, iba na.
Especially now with the digital platforms. Kasi merong mga nostalgia. People look for what they what they used to listen to. You know, I would listen to Carpenters, Barry Manilow, mga ganyan.
That's true.
And then, parang buti nga available dyan lahat. So now the consumption of music is such that you can really revisit the hits that you loved before.
Ang ganda, yeah.
Now that I Have You is one of them. No, there's so many versions. There's The Company. There's yan nga, Eric and Sherin. And Jed. I put out there's a version of Jed also singing. Iba rin yung arrangement. Ang galing-galing din ni Jed. Beautiful version.
Ibang klase.
Choral versions. So
choral versions, yeah.
So I'm hoping people like my version also.
Oo, ayan. The new version.
I love it. I love it.
It's on Spotify. I heard it na parang you kept to the parang core, no?
Yeah,
I kept it. And then, how different is it when the songwriter sings the song?
They say it's different.
Diba? Ibang hugot.
I can get that when I hear other songwriters sing their songs. Siyempre, dahil ako to, parang hindi ko makita sa sarili ko. Parang, okay ba? Parang I would always
narinig namin.
You know, so, but yeah.
At dahil kilala kita, nagpa-flashback yung mga na-link din sa'yo.
Don't go there.
I won't. But tribute na rin sa lahat ng mga minahal, nagtangkang magmahal, okay, na sana minahal. Di ba yun naman. So lahat yun nakapasok.
Ayan yung mga alam mo lang. Hindi mo pa alam yung hindi mo alam.
Oo nga. Kung sino man yun, para kasama kayo dito sa You sa Now That I Have You. Ang ganda naman.
I Have You. It could be a lover. It could be your son. Talaga siya.
Yeah. Trina, from a technical point of view, I really love your version and I love your vocal arrangement. Ang ganda, especially going to the change key. Yes. You are mine, you are mine, you are mine. And
that's my favorite part also.
He also, I think, really super swag. And your version really looks and sounds like you, your personality. So, iba talaga when a composer sings their own creation songs. So, I love your. I downloaded it.
Basta sana mo ayusin pagdating ng panahon.
I did.
No, narinig ko na yung The Company version.
No, I did. I was part before the pandemic. Hold on, what was that? Anne, help me. You were part of the show also. It was songwriter. Ano?
Yes, yung sa
bus.
Yes.
What's the bus? Wish Bus.
Wish Bus, yeah.
So I got to record it and I got to sing it in Araneta Coliseum.
Is it on Spotify already?
No. I don't know why. And they
put out your own solo, pwede.
I did it. Never say never. Never say never.
Yun nga pala. Do you see yourselves doing your own thing? Also, like Annie teaches, but then do you see yourself recording your own stuff apart from The Company? Oo,
Ako?
kayo rin, Triens, ikaw rin. Ikaw naman nag-record. I have that cassette na kulot-kulot ka talaga, no?
Oo,
Hello.
hindi ko alam
I
na
love that.
Yes.
I
Here
love
I
that.
am. Bay, ang ganda pa rin naman yun.
Star music, Phil. To answer your question, Noel, yes, actually, I've been working on a solo project, and it's a cappella contemporary mass. And I have my own side projects, but it's in the back burner for now because wala pang financing. So,
Of course.
Yun yung challenge talaga. But yeah, tama si
Oo,
Moy. Parang
yun.
that's the trend now. My interest now has been acting as my own label.
correct.
Yes,
Over
yes.
30 years, you learn that parang, okay, so there's a lot of fulfillment in being your own publisher and label. I'm one of the
Yes.
few that I know was ventured into being my own publisher and label. And
Yeah.
it's challenging because there's a lot you have to absorb. Pero masaya din kasi you can go at your own pace. You have total creative freedom. And everything you earn is yours 100%.
Yeah,
Kasi
I agree.
parang okay na, ikaw na yung artist, ikaw yung songwriter, ikaw yung producer, ikaw rin yung mamumuhunan. So yung sinasabi mo
Of course, of course.
so that's where you have to dig from somewhere, maybe dig from other pockets to fund your own art. No?
That's true.
But so there's a lot of options, and I'm such a huge advocate now of independent music because yun nga parang you reap the rewards of your own labor.
That's
So
true.
but at the same time, it's very challenging. Yun na nga, like because there's so much competition out there. So kanya-kanyang laro. So what I try
Galing.
to do now is also what I plan to do pala, sabi ko, meron nagsasuggest na alam mo for your TikTok content, you should give like tips to songwriters kasi yun naman ang ginagawa mo for
Yes.
Totoo.
advice, mga ganyan. So I'll get around to it. But I have so much to share kasi. People
Yes,
ask about,
yes.
paano ba, there's ang dami kong gustong i-share. So
Ako
please
talaga,
subscribe to my TikTok.
Ako, keep to
Wait
your
lang.
core. Kasi ang nangyayari sa YouTube naman kasi ngayon, they guess each other. Kung sino yung trending, gine-guess nila. So, nawawala na yung brand at sa saturate, no? So, ako, keep to your core. Kasi kung yung palaging lesson, kung ano yung magaling at yung mahusay at yung mabuti, magtatagal. Yan talaga yung it will last. Ani, ikaw naman, for yourself, ano yung mga personal projects at mga na sana mangyari?
Personal project ko ngayon, yung bahay ko.
Uy,
Yung level ng concern,
proud
no?
yan. Nakaka-proud
Correct,
yan.
no?
I'm
Uy,
always excited about houses.
di ba?
It's really
Grabe yan.
Ang buhay at bahay, di ba? Yung nagkakabit yan. No? No, and now we've talked about a lot of things, but the whole takeaway is yung now that I have, babalik pa rin sa now that I have, yung sabi ko, yun, it's a song about contentment, security, yun, fulfillment, gratefulness, and peace. Yung now that I have, yung parang, ay, pupunta ka dun sa ibang level ng fulfillment and peace na talagang lahat tayo hinahanap. At sana mahanap natin yun. And we have to say thank you to Trins. Trina, thank you for that. And thank you for the company, for like being the instrument in connecting it to a lot of people. So,
we were blessed.
okay, last words for Trina, whom we're celebrating at this point. Like Moy and Annie first, go.
Well, I think it was a blessing that kaming naunang nabiyayaan ng Now That I Have You. And I think it was a match na you were looking for your way, and so were we.
Yeah.
And we found Now That I Have You to be the music piece that made both of us.
Galing.
And
I love it. I love that.
I think you've given so much of yourself, and I love
That's
that you are
true.
continuing to to pay it forward. And I think that's one of the best ways that you can thank God for what He's given you,
That's true.
is to share it as well. So congratulations, more power to you. Love
Thank
you.
you.
Love you too, Annie. Thank you very much. Moy, ikaw.
So well put, Annie. Before anything else, happy 31 anniversary.
Yeah.
Trina. I don't know. There's no other way to explain it, but you are a godsend to us and to me personally in my life. You are one of the very few people whose friendship has spanned decades. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, little did I know that this very meek and shy officer of the Ateneo College Glee Club in 1989 would be a lifelong friend. And also, aside from that's on the personal side, but also speaking as part of the music industry, that you would be a leader and
Yeah.
a main pillar for songwriters and publishers, and you
Mm.
have given so much for this industry. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm very happy that despite your success and your, no, I mean, people really look up to you in this industry. You've still remained to be humble and grounded and warm. I love you and I thank you forever. Thank you, Trina.
Ang galing. But
Thank
before we let you
you.
go, Annie and Moy invite our listeners, our followers to your concerts. Where will
Okay.
you be? So, well,
Okay.
Christmas and the next in the succeeding days. Go.
Okay, on Friday, that is November 18, we will be
Later. Yeah.
singing now. Yes, later we will
Yeah.
be singing Now That I Have You with one of the talents of Noel Ferrer,
Yes.
Arman Ferrer, and
Karma.
we're very, very, very proud that this concert has been super mega sold out for
Oh,
weeks on
twice.
end.
Yeah.
Ang bait. Ang dami nagmamahal kay Arman. And then the following day, we are doing Winford Casino and Resorts. That's in Manila. Yes, we will sing Now That I Have You there. That show on Saturday tomorrow is free. So if
Yeah.
you're in the Manila area, please come to Winford. And then, Annie, would you like to talk about December 3 and December 9?
Okay, so
Ayan na.
yes,
Marami.
on December 3, we will be at the Maybank Theater as we
BGC Arts.
BGC Arts as we celebrate um, many
Galing.
pillars of of OPM, and we will be singing and honoring Babsi Molina,
Galing.
and then there will also be other music musicians.
Prince, you have to be there. Georgia Velasco of the
Georgia
ACS.
Velasco.
Are you singing? Are you singing, Trina?
No, I'll be in the audience.
Oh, how nice.
Jo Marie Chan and Perita
yes,
Corrales.
Perita
Yeah.
That's
Corrales.
December 3.
3,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
And on December 9 we'll be at the what's it called now? The new name.
Newport World Resorts.
World Resorts, yes.
Dating Resorts World Manila, kaya nakakalito ang
Yeah.
branding.
Nakakalito.
Rebranding. Kwento mo, Ann, sino
We
kasama?
will be there with Jo Marie Chan as we have this Christmas concert entitled Christmas in Our Hearts. And so we hope to see you there. We'll have a wonderful Christmas celebration.
So live performance is really back and we're just there to support each other. Yun na lang yung ano nun. Trin's final words for this anniversary episode. And well, ako thank you episode to you, no? Parang yun, Trins, ano yung pakiramdam?
Well, Noel, una-una, thank you. Thank you for this
Thank you.
show kasi ang dami kong nakuha. This is such a blessing of a show, hearing from Annie and Moy about the story that I didn't know about now that I have you. Na parang ang dami kong takeaway from this show. Parang, yeah, it makes me even more grateful for my journey. It like I say, it always takes other people sometimes to point out to you certain things that you don't see, no? Ako parang, of course, I'm always mindful of the 30 plus year journey that I've had, but I've been so lucky and blessed by people talaga. It's really the people that have come into my life, like you guys, the company, you, and the audience, everybody who has supported. It's no small thing. I do not take it for granted that 30 plus years is a long time and people are supportive of your music. Talagang naku, thank you po sa lahat sa inyo na nanonood at nakikinig. And now that I have you is super special to me, to Moy, to Annie, to the company, to everybody. I hope it is special to you. And itong 30th anniversary version of my song. I hope you will give it a listen. It is very special to me, and yeah, it's kind of a gift also. I hope it's a way of giving back. And I also want for you all to check out my website. Promote ko na lang.
Go.
I kind of updated my website, and it has all the links, my social media links, my links to several recordings. So I hope you will just click on everything that's there, and I'm hoping I will be blessed by your continued support and through the years, and for which I am already grateful. So maraming salamat po sa inyo for all your support, and yun, just check out my social media and follow me, and tuloy ang ligaya. We go on 30 years and beyond. So thank you very much, Noel. Sobrang ang ganda-ganda.
But thank you talaga. And now, di ba palagi yung concentration natin nasa you? And we're giving all those meaning kung sino yung you, no? Na Diyos, pamilya natin, tayo isa't isa. And now, yung may isang word na important, yung found. Because we continue looking for, finding people, other people, and here we've found ourselves. We are found. Parang we've found each other. But thank you very much. At dahil doon, talagang napaka-significant ng kanta at napaka-significant ng mga words at napaka-significant ng mga relationships na na-build because of that song. So, at magtatagal pa kung ano yung maganda, mahusay, mabuti, yun ang magtatagal. So, we're playing that version here now. Well, as we say, thank you to all of you. Thank you, and we'll see each other again and again. We'll just be here supporting each other. Mahal na mahal ko kayo.
In person.
Love you, Noel. Love you, Noel.
Love you, Noel. Love you, Moy.
You open the door and let the sun shine in. My life will never be the same again. Now that I have you, everything just seems so right. Now that I have you, I'm alive.
Ay, yes, Caitlin, okay. Kasi baka may problem siguro ang mga globe or whatever.
I know, but let's just wait for
Mitch. We'll wait for Mitch kasi she's having a problem of her own dun sa kanyang
Okay.
browser siguro. Yung browser. Kumusta ka?
Mabuti. Is the live performances back already?
I think so, but well, in this case it's a good timing because this is like November, December and to February.
Totoo yun.
They're coming in droves, but pero I hope it continues. It's natural for these events to come at this itong season na ito eh. But then again, the live is at least
pero
for
mamaya pag-usapan natin ang foreign acts, di ba? Aggressive.
Sobra. Because
Wala bang regulation dyan?
Meron naman, but the regulation goes this way for the musicians. Mamaya pag-usapan natin. Kasi yung president of AMP, there is regulation, but in terms of yung bang remuneration, come in as long as you pay who you displaced ng mga musicians. Kunyari, there are four.
Okay.
You displaced 4 musicians sa Pilipino. So kung 4 musicians kayong foreign, you displaced 4 Filipinos. You pay equivalent ng 4 Filipinos na na-displace.
Good.
Okay,
so whom will they pay that?
AMP.
Good.
Okay, and then we use it for educational purposes. Alam mo ba nung pandemic, I think we were the only music organization that gave ayuda to our we have 189 members, and we gave them, ang kakayahan lang namin is like we gave them at least 2 months of something, 2 months of grocery whatever.
Okay pa rin yun.
Ano nakatulong doon sa mga miyembro namin. But if we give all of those, magsasarado yung yung opisina dahil wala kaming operating expenses.
Oo.
So we have to stay alive and stay afloat until today kasi pagdating niyan walang magko-collect noon eh, walang kukuha
Correct.
Yeah,
Buti sinusunod kayo ng mga promoters.
Hindi ka papapasukin sa immigration if you are, whether you're a big name musician or whatever, performer, pag wala kayong directive from us, pag wala silang certificate. Okay, so the producers will have to get it from us, that certification, and then present it to immigration, and then that's the time they can come in.
Galing. Well, let's make people aware of that kasi kala nila parang walang controls or walang safeguards man lang sa local industry pag dumarating kasi they're coming in droves as in, Mel.
Sobra. Now, we're not the only recipient of that. They call that yung equity law yun, Noel.
Yes.
Everywhere, in all parts of the world, they recognize that law. Pag kami, kunyari, Sharon Cuneta Show, punta kami dun, kami, may mga na-displace kami Amerikano. So yung producers will have to pay their counterpart, yung kanilang That's what you call yung remuneration ng mga equity law that they have. No? Protectionism din yon of their own.
Buti na isulong nyo yan, Mel.
Tagal na to, Ramos administration, Noel.
Buti.
Yan. Now, for the singers, if you're a singer, if you're BTS, and then you have like 9, ilan ba yun? Okay, 9 singers, who displace Filipinos na 9 Filipino singers, you pay OPM. You pay OPM. They're part of the equity recipient of the Philippine immigration law natin ng gobyerno.
But are they as active? May narinig nga ako, they wanna fold up already.
That story I don't know yet. I'm not so private dun sa kanilang mga inside sila yung binigyan ng gobyerno ng pribilehiyo na yon to collect or in behalf of the singers, in behalf of the frontline singers.
Did they give ayuda also during
I hope I have no idea. Alam mo yung sa amin kasi, yung aming organization is really for, kasi it's either you donate sa amin, that's how we go funding, that's how we are funded, no?
Yes,
right? Bibigyan kami ng donation ng educational, we have the educational things from NCCA for us to be able to teach, so we do that every year. Ganon. And then, I don't know if they have that, no? Sa yung mga ganong bagay sa OPM. That's how we are staying afloat eh. At saka ito ring mga remuneration from the foreign artists. That's the only way we can generate funds or go fundraiser. Now, without that, we will also fold up kasi wala ano ba pera ng mga pasok sa amin for sino bang yung ganon. The awareness came late actually. But we had this since the 90s.
Buti na lang.
Even yung mga sa mga lalo na yung mga foreign act, lalo na yung mga producers, yung ganyan. Before they would be mad at us dahil bakit pa sila nagbabayad samantalang meron nang pumapasok na performing dito sa atin, no? Ba't pa sila nagbabayad sa amin? We painstakingly explain to them what goes on with the equity law ng each country all over the world. Because dito hindi naman na expected na inaalam ng maraming tao yung mga gano'n yung mga international laws na ganyan galit pa sila sa amin, ba't daw kami makukolekta pa?
Pero nga sa ibang bansa ginagawa
Pag pupunta nga tayo, grabe binabayad ng mga producer doon. Bakit hindi tayo pwedeng gumanon? Hindi ba? Makikinabang yung mga nadi-displace na mga tao rito. Kapwa nyo Pilipino, gusto nyo ma-displace. Di ba? Kumbaga, if you're one producer, there are like in a band, you're usually 4 people in a band. Ikaw, kumita ka doon sa banda mo because of 4 other foreigners who came, pero na-displace mo 4 na tao sa Pilipinas. Dahil sila di ba? Imbes na sila sana yung nag-accompany doon, sila yung ganyan. Yan. So we're trying. Now, okay, ito yung sa amin sa AMP para to help you producers. You don't want to pay the very minimal amount, 6,000 per foreigner.
Oh my
Isipin mo yan,
God, ang mura lang
6,000
noon.
because that's the general rate for the musicians in a show, di ba, Noel? 6,000 pesos in a show.
Yes.
Now, yung tao na yon na displace mo, walang trabaho yon, but you kumita ka doon sa foreigner na yon, ano ha? But sige, tulungan niyo ang Pilipinas. Gusto niyong tulungan by way of being malibre kayo doon sa babayaran niyo 6,000 sa AMP. Sige, ibigay niyo. You hire another musician to be Filipino,
Na Pilipino.
to be front up or part of that show or whatever you do. Basta hire a musician that will be part of that and you pay that person. Kayo na mag-usap. So, 4 na musicians. For example, the group Toto. Di ba?
Yes,
4 yun.
yes.
Okay. Pumasok dito. Ayaw mo magbayad sa mga Toto, 24,000 lang yung babayaran mo eh. Yung ganun sa guild.
Correct.
Ayaw mong bayaran yon dahil nagtitipid ka. Gusto mong kumita, sige, mag-hire ka ng 4 din na Pilipino, libre na. Huwag ka na magbayad sa amin. Huwag ka na magbayad sa amin.
Binigay mo pa rin diretso, di ba?
Kasi mag-hire ka ng 4, front up mo sila or kung ano man. Gamitin nyo rin sa production kung ano man yung 4 na ano yun.
Yeah.
Di ba? Na part of that show. O, usually front act naman eh. So you hire Filipinos. You hire Filipinos. Counterpart. Sige, equivalent of 4. Okay. Di libre ka na. Kung 3 lang ang kaya mong i-hire, o babayaran mo yung isa. Di ba? Yung isa.
Yes.
It's very simple. Very simple. Tapos, at least nag-hire ka ng Pilipino. Di ba na...
Tama yung law.
Yan.
Tama naman yan.
Ganun lang kami eh. Ganun lang sabi namin. Sige, para matulungan din kayo. Pero wag naman yung keep everything with all the dollars there and keep it to yourself.
Like, how many staff do you have in the office? Kasing laki ba yan ng Phil's Cap?
We have 3. We have 3. That's why hikaos kami, Noel. Kasi we just scrimp on things para lang to get by. Kasi walang magko-collect, walang magpa-follow up, walang ganyan. And we're not saying that we don't like to use the word you will get away with it. No. Basta kasi marami ding unaware that these things are in place. These laws are in place and it's supposed to help people. It's not supposed to be pagkakakitaan kayo or whatever kung producer ka. Yan. Yun. It's supposed to help our own community get by. Isipin mo na lang. Lalo na ngayon, wala mga naging trabaho tao for the past 2 years. Paano na lang? Paano na lang? So we try to keep that budget, kung ano man yung nabayadan nyo. Kung wala kang binayaran sa amin, meron kang magbayad ka lang ng 500 pesos for the certificate that I will sign. Bibigay yun nyo, yung producer sa immigration. Ito na po, may AMP Guild nag-sign na. Kailangan niya ng OPM certificate, punta kayo sa OPM dahil may singers pala kayong kasama. Di kuha naman kayo sa OPM. Pero dali-dali, tawag ka lang. And then,
oo nga eh.
Or
may local offices naman yung mga promoters na yan. No? Kailangan nila.
Okay, malayo kayo. Nasa Paranaque kami. Hahatid namin sa inyo yung certificate. Para lang mag-comply. Just to comply. Huwag na magreklamo.
People should know that. Wali alam ng mga tao yan. Nabuti lang for AMP na nagagawa mo yan. Ilan yung members nyo, Mel?
189.
Oh, okay.
Kukunti yun. Biro mo, libo-libo ang mga ano.
Totoo yan.
Problem naman namin yun is to unite people from the different...
Bakit? Ba't ganun ka-fragmented?
Alam mo naman ang mindset ng mga kanya-kanya rito sa atin. Diba?
Ayaw magpalagay. But that's something we learned during the pandemic to organize, di ba?
Yan ang sinasabi mo. So we try to preach that to everyone, especially the young ones, the young generation.
The young ones.
So that you'll have a semblance of a community which was very strong before us.
That's true.
Yung community ng musicians doon, grabe. It's well respected now. They didn't have to have laws. They didn't even have to, they needed laws, but we all need one. Pero yung community support for each other, ang lakas noon nung bago kami, yung mga hunters, yung mga gano'n noon. Ayun. But now, it has gone.
Kaya lang siguro wala silang kayo, nagsumikap kayong gumawa ng bylaws and do everything, no?
There you are. Kasi doon sa naman namin ng connect kina Presidente Ramos noong mga panahon na yon, si Mrs. Emilita mismo, si Tita Ming.
Talaga.
Musician si Tita Ming, Noel. Musician yun. Diba? She was like a piano. She graduated from conservatory sa women's yata si Kwan. Nagtataka siya, ba't wala tayo union ng musicians? Ma'am, we tried. Sabing gano'n ng mga nauna sa akin ng mga leader noon. Sina John Lisaka pa yun eh. Sila noon.
Yes.
Okay, nung panahon na yun. Kasi sila yung dala sa mga sorties ni Presidente Ramos sa international meetings eh. Dadalhin sila John Lisaka and then a motley group of Pinoys para babakapan si Tita Ming sa piano. Kasi siya yung intermission ng mga meeting.
Grabe, but thank you for the service that you do, Mel.
So naawa si Tita Ming. Sabi ko, bakit? Ito yung union nyo. Ma'am, wala ko kami union. Bakit kayo walang union? Kasi all over the world.
It's something we should parang take to heart yung organization, the community talaga.
Okay, ganun. So, you respect for the arts. Ngayon, wala ho. Maski nag-guild lang. Wala kayong maski guild. Wala po, ma'am. By word of mouth na lang po kami we try to support each other. And we have supported each other through word of mouth and camaraderie, gano'n, noon, no? Sabi niya, hindi pwede yung gano'n. Di ba? Bansa tayo eh. Gano'n, I mean,
there's got to be structures. Dapat may mga structures.
There has to be structure and professionalism. Nakakahiya yung tayo, Pilipinas, very emerging country. And wala kayong ganyan. Sinabi pa naman na pag sinabi mo Filipinos, this is the center of art or performing in Southeast Asia. Wag pa yung Asia noon. Wag pa yung Asia pag sinabing performing people and people who would be entertaining people from all over the world by way of cruises, by way of whatever, mga land-based na mga production and puesto, clubs, everywhere you go in the world. Merong kang andon Pilipino yung nag-entertain sa mga tao ng ibang bansa. So and then wala kayong guild.
So, doon kayo nabuo. Doon kayo talaga galing.
Alam mo naman ang gobyerno, may seed money for the arts. Di ba? Meron silang, ang Congress would release budget for the arts, culture. So, binigyan kami ng gatiting. O sige, maglagay kayo ng opisina. Nakakahiya, wala kayong opisina.
Correct.
Gawin nyo lahat. Gawin nyo lahat. SEC, gawin nyo lahat. Yung ganon. Kung ano man. O sige, ma'am. Pero wala ko kaming tao eh. Ito, sige, mo kay sekretarya o kung ano man.
Tinulungan talaga kayo to that's
Tita
good.
Ming, grabe yung Tita Ming, yun ang patroness.
We'll air this, Mel, ha? Let's continue talking and then continue lang to, because really making sense. Yun.
Please. Yeah. The idea is to inform people. The idea is to, propagate the information para malaman ng marami. Lalo pa yung aming community na marami din na wala lang pakialam dahil kasi may comfort zone ng kanya-kanyang
totoo
kanya-kanyang lugar.
There's got to be a structure and a system, no? That's a good thing.
That's a must. If you want to really move forward and do something substantial, we're not saying that we will not be able to move forward. For the last 100 years, kung ilan man, without the structure, we do move because we are resilient people, especially in the arts, lalo na ang mga musicians. We find ways. You know how it is. We find ways. And then we have survived. But hindi lang naman yung survival ang pinag-uusapan. Oh, there you are. Mitch is there already.
Yeah, Mitch is there. We'll just continue talking. We recorded Mel already and we had a good talk about AMP. Okay.
Ani!
Later kasi I'll be interviewing them. But
yes.
Okay, wait lang. Good. So, we've started with Mel and now Mitch is here finally.
Yay!
We were talking about the situation of the musicians here in the Philippines during the pandemic at buti na lang may organization and parang the pandemic taught us to organize. And then buti na rin lang parang nagtutulungan at sino ba who will you count on? Tayo lang yung magtutulungan. So how about the singers, Mitch?
Sandali lang, na-stress ako.
Hindi ka nag-iisa.
My nephew, my gadgets, and then everything went haywire. Anyway, how about the singers na nagtutulungan? From what I experienced, everybody was singing for free from their bedrooms.
Yeah.
From every single nook and cranny of their homes. for free.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
They wanted to still continue their profession, and people were commenting that it was such an inspiration, especially during the quarantine na walang
But Mitch, did you get any ayuda from any organization that you were like part of?
No. Unfortunately, the sad state is that I have always said that the first year of the pandemic, it was the singers and musicians who helped you
There you are.
survive.
There you are.
And then now that things are going back to normal, wala na naman. In the grand scheme of things like ayuda and all of that, there is nothing. There is really nothing. Bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. Because I think, Noel, the perception is 100%
ng bayad nyo. Parang gano'n, no?
100% of performers. I think you don't need it. You're all rich. You're all this. You're all that. They don't know that a lot of these musicians na nakapwesto before, who used to sing in clubs, etc., 3 times a night for their basic sustenance, yun ang mga na-apekto.
Apektuhan. Totoo
Yes.
yun.
Ilang libo yun.
Oo nga eh. Annie, let's pulin Annie. Annie, how do you feel about yon the live performances being back? And pinag-usapan namin ni Mel kanina, sobrang daming foreign artists. Di ba? Parang, at yun talaga, buti na lang nakakakuha sila ng remuneration from that, no? Parang sa equity yun yung tawag. Annie, how do you feel about it?
Well, first of all, yung fact na nakabalik na ang live performances, even local, no, or local artists, unti-unti nga nangyayari, and kami we're just feeling it actually this October, November na lang, no? October,
That's
November,
true. That's
and
true.
it's coming even better this December. But nakakagulat nga na ang daming foreign artists na pumapasok at dinudumog sila.
Totoo. At nabidisplace talaga yung mga local artists. Yun, no?
It's, I think, at the same time kasi our local artists are going to the States, are going to Europe, and sila naman ang dinudumog doon.
That's true.
But Annie, we're talking only about less than 2%
yes,
who are going abroad. It is the artists who have a following because they were on the major broadcast TV show. So they're contract artists. So it's the big names, the same you can count on your fingers. Of course, we don't deny them their privilege because even but we are talking about the lower tier of the rest of the 90%.
That's
true. Nobody will invite to the States. Right?
There's singers, musicians.
Yes, there's this whole industry of artists and performers. Like if your hanap buhay is just the clubs and maybe some corporate events, nobody's going to, and not all the clubs are open.
That's true.
Because of protocol and a lot nalugi na, all of these things.
So Mitch, let's go to your show. Let's invite them. So 20
parang na-depress ako.
Sorry. So 52nd year. Actually, the 2 years of those nawala sa pandemic dahil ba sa pandemic. Di ba? 52 years. Celebrating 52 years of Mitch and Belle. Tapos biglang, nawala pa yung 2 taon. So this
kasama ba ako dun sa 52, Mitch?
Oo, kasama.
Baka mga, hindi naman sila.
Late 70s si Mel.
Yeah.
I started in ABS-CBN in 1970 professionally. So when I was going to come back with this show, I didn't realize that it's been 52 years since 1970. So I said I might as well.
Celebrate.
Bihira nakaka-survive ng 52 years.
Oo naman. Gaano kaiba to sa mga shows nyo? Of course, hindi na kayo nasa box katulad and we're all technological challenged. Di ba?
Alam mo ba nangyayari doon? Nandun kami sa box, tapos pag magpa-punchline ka, ang nakatingin lang sa'yo, yung cameraman na nakatingin.
Si Annie, nag-MTV pa. Talaga sa box. Talaga. Ibang klase, lahat tayo talaga na challenge. So, now, it's your first performance after the
we're doing, just like the Mitch Valdes of before. Remember, in the 80s, in the 90s, I shifted na I didn't want to be this chanteuse with the bustier and the filigree.
Wow, chanteuse. Hirap na spelling nun.
Heels, yung mga chanteuse. Naku, naka-Ino Soto o Di Cordero pa ako at kung ano-ano na kailangan may maleta ka to go to a show. Sabi ko, when I saw Ricky Martin, I said, that's what I want to be. Yung naka-crew neck t-shirt lang siya. Because I would like my presentation to the audience to be as personal as possible.
And now, in the terms today, parang authentic, di ba? Yan yung tinatawag yung authentic performance.
Well, I hope so. Because talaga nga, it's so personal. Every performer goes through a very personal process when she starts. You bare your soul. Do you know that when you sing, parang you put a hand inside and all facades and walls crumble.
That's true.
Because the public face that you present crumbles. Because I see Mitch emotional pala. I see Mitch may heartbreak pala. And usually...
At ano ang intervention ng isa pang Quintos na si Floyd, di ba? So, kamag-anak sa huli-huli tayo rin lang talaga magtutulungan. So, anong intervention ni Floyd sa show mo, Mitch?
He's trying to discipline me. Because, you know, like, I don't like, I get bored with myself when I just sing, or I get bored with myself when I just talk. But he seems to see something in me that can still be brought out. Like, he insists on a lot of singing, and it's scaring me.
Okay, may limit. May limit ka. But will you do sketches? Like, kunyari, you're being an actor of Provinciano finally. Kasi at a certain point, parang nahihiya ka pa to use it, di ba?
Excuse me, we're going to have, the opening is all about our current situation.
Oh, very good, very good. So, walang balik-balik kay Mel? Mel, ikaw naman, hindi ka mag-balik dito. Anong
Okay, ngayon, pag ginawa ko yun, collapse na mangyayari nun. Mag-collapse na ako. Hindi na pwede yung ginagawa namin nung dekada 80, no? Layo na nun. Okay. Kaya medyo...
yung banda ni Mel nung millennium, yung nagsindihan pa ng gitara yan sa rock number. Wala kaming permit sa Ayala.
Wala.
Ang maganda lang dito, si Mel isn't just a musical director, he's part of the act, di ba?
Precisely. And sometimes I have to control him.
yun ang dynamic doon.
Ito yung mga frustration ko, Noel. Ito na
yun. I know. At
Frustrated.
kailan mo pag gagawin kung di ngayon na, di ba?
At saka, this is the venue for it. This is and the new band members that Mel gets, you know, like when we rehearse,
the young one.
Kayo, magsayaw kayo. Yung mga
That's
yung mga bata na
you will be surprised because, you know, hindi lang musicians.
That's true.
Dancers na rin.
And you know what? We want people to watch this so that dumami pa yung ganitong shows. Kasi parang this is open for sponsorship. Parang, di ba? Parang when they watch it, you can have repeats and repeats and repeats, no?
Please, that's what I would like to stress because we put so much effort into it and the venue is small and intimate. So we want this to be repeated everywhere. Apari as Taholo, Europe, Bahrain, Israel.
So it's something parang you can transport or you can easily like mount, no?
Yes. That's what
I
I like about the shows that are me and Mel mount kasi it's not a grandiose
production.
It's mobile.
Okay. So Mel, invite our supporters, our followers, and listeners to your show. It's Mitch You Like Crazy.
Mitch You Like Crazy.
There you are. Mga kaibigan,
Okay.
tunghayan nyo ang Miss Valdes na ngayon nagbibigay ng special production number. Tira, Mitch.
Meron talaga.
Mel and Mitch talagang riding in tandem yan ever.
Ayan.
M&M.
Pero in a good way, ha? In a good way. Riding in tandem na ha. Baka matag tayo Mitch. Delikado ka.
Nakakahiya nga, nandun si Teacher Annie.
Oo nga. Ani.
Walang iya.
Ikaw naman mag-invite sa mga tao. Finally, your 52nd anniversary. So,
Can you imagine, I started in 1970 and it is now 2022. I'm still here. I still want to see you. I still want to perform for you. I still have opinions about what's going on.
well, we should have. And
there's always good music because it's Mel Villena. And it's directed by
I love you.
The Floyd Quintos. Written
You will be on Saturday, on the 19th, at what time? Yatino, at 8 o'clock, no? At 8 o'clock.
Tickets available at Ticket World. If your computer bobble like me, just call Trina and they will get the tickets for you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mitch.
Thank you, Noel. Thank you.
All the support. Malaking yakap. Yun, sa hulit-hulit, sino lang bang magsusuportahan kung di tayo lang?
Tayo rin. Kaya nandito pa rin tayo
Ang galing, no?
Group hug.
Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.